Hey there, it's Sven. Um, Today I'm going to be showing you guys some tricks to maybe help you reload your revolvers faster. Um, I'm going to be showing you stuff with the 1858 Remington, 1860 Colt Single Action Army, and the 1847 Colt Walker. Um, Now, the first thing any of you that know a lick about these old guns might think is these are basically the same. Why are you showing both? I'll show you why in a second here. So the 1858 Remington, as you just saw, is very fast at reloading through reloading the cylinder or changing cylinders instead of um, actually going through and packing balls, uh, and that made it very desirable. Um, it's actually so famous for being able to swap cylinders easily that there's a movie that Clint Eastwood stars in where he uses that method a lot. Um, so the way I found to do it easily is in one smooth motion. You're not going to drop the loading lever all the way down because that gets it stuck in the loading in the chamber. So I like to pop it and then slide it along my hand, and that keeps it from going all the way in. It stays out. And even if it does go all the way in, it's not going to be a problem because as I go in on the coming back out, I catch the that guy. So it's just a smooth motion. Um, Now you hold it up with your hand as you go back towards here, and just the slightest pull back of this hammer, if your gun is tuned well, should drop the cylinder out that easy. Um, then you'd bring it back, stuff it in, grab your other one, and then you're going to want to put this on here. Normally this this loading lever is going to stop you. It's hard to keep it out of the way, so just give it a flick up with your finger and put some pressure here. It's light pressure, and then same thing, just a very slight cock back, and it should roll into place. Drop the loading lever. It'll try and go into a cylinder. um, it, it If it's loaded, it'll be a little hard. It won't go in quite as far, but it doesn't matter. Just it will go into one of the cylinder holes a little bit, and that lines it up perfectly for this guy to go in with very little effort. Um, and there you go. You've reloaded. Um, Now, the Colt styles were not actually that hard to reload, depending on the gun. So the 1860 Colt here is a good example of the problems that modern replica, like this Uberti and my Pieta Colt, have. Um, so if you see on this Walker, you have a screw there. That screw is supposed to keep the wedge from coming out all the way. Um, I am missing it on this gun here. Um, but it doesn't matter because the vast majority of these Uberti and Pieta replicas, even with that screw, the wedge comes out anyway. Um, that's not good because if you're trying to reload quick, you know, say you pop the wedge out, this one's so loose, I need to get another one too. This is a very, I'm sure you can tell, it is a very well used gun. Um, but you can just, if you pop it out, now you have to pull out that, bring out here. How are you going to replace the cylinder as you're carrying all this crap in one hand? You're going to have to swap it out, put the pin in your hand, go back, take it out, pull it, blah, blah, blah. Get that new one on. And keep in mind, you're on a bouncing horse now. Get that back in. Try and get him back in. So it can be difficult. And then you're good to go again. That's what a lot of these modern guns do. And that's just because they're not built quite as tight as the originals. Um, that's why I actually have this guy here. My Uberti, sorry, bit of heartburn. My, my Uberti 1847 Colt Walker, because this is the only replica gun I have of the Colt style where this screw actually does its job. And I'll show you about how they used to reload these. So, you shoot, you're on horseback, you're out. It's a lot easier when your Colt is working right and that set screw is working right, or that lock screw is working right. And of course, this wedge I can't just push out with my thumb. It's tight, like they should be. What they would often do is take a knife. In this case, I'm just going to take a wedge and just pop it. Just give it a pop. This is a wooden base, so it doesn't really mar up the gun. Though you see a lot of originals of the Colt style that are marred here from that. But it pops it out, and now I can't pull this out all the way because it locks against that screw. Thankfully, Colt was smart, and they made it so it doesn't come out all the way, but you can still take the barrel off. And then, you could, or heck, it'd probably be better to just hang on to it like that and then swap the barrel out, or swap the cylinder out. On walkers, you have to actually cock them a little bit to get them to set right. You don't have to do that on later guns. Yeah, but then all you do is put it back in, push this guy in with your thumb or something, and you're good to go. I mean, it's not as fast as a Remington, but it's not super slow either. All things considered. Oops, almost put it on backwards there. There's a lot more parts. It's a bit more finicky, but it's still doable. Heck, you can even maybe give it a little pop with the back of your thing there. So that's how these were supposed to work. But a lot of people don't know that simply because these modern reproductions are not tight there, and that screw is virtually worthless. I remember when I first got into these guns, I thought, why did they even have that screw? It doesn't do anything. Like, even when the screw is here, I could just pull it out. And that's actually why I never bothered to buy a new one, because it just never worked in the first place. And I was like, well, who cares that I lost it? But any day of the week, if you need to reload through cylinders, get an 1858 Remington. It's no hassle at all. And that was casual speed. It's no problem at all. So I hope that helps. And yeah, that's all. Hey though.